Simply Youth Ministry has, I've had a value for years of giving stuff away. As a matter of fact, the whole concept of Simply Youth Ministry grew out of me working with three other youth pastors for a season. We would meet once a month, and I would do a series on something, and I would bring my series to our network meeting, and Tim would bring his series to a network meeting, and Steve would bring his, and Roxanne would bring hers, and the four of us would meet at Steve Murray's house, and we would each bring our stuff that we had done that month and hand it to each other. And so when I left that network meeting, I was leaving with 3 months worth of talks and teachings and stuff like that. It was great. And that's where this concept was birthed. I just outlasted all of those youth workers and wound up being by myself. And so when I started sharing stuff around the country, when I would speak, I would still give things away until my church said, you need to finance that yourself. And, you can do that with a couple Xeroxes here and there, but then when my stuff started going all over the world, it became very difficult to do. And if you've been part of us, you know that every month we send out a free talk or PowerPoint, or we're always sending free stuff out. Well, we've recently partnered with a friend who's a junior high pastor at Irvine Presbyterian Church, and he has a very, very large free website, and it's called pastor2youth.com. And we've just got connected together. In May 1, it's going live, where we are gonna connect to one another. So when people come to his, they'll be able to access ours, and when people come to ours, they'll be able to access his. Anyway, the guy's he's like a creative genius on how to find free stuff on the internet. And so we asked him, would you just come share for a few minutes? And he's just like us. He's in the trenches. He's actually been sitting at that table the whole time, taking notes and learning, just like we are. Although he's smarter, much smarter than me, because he's getting his doctorate, and and I just told him I'm not sure I love the church that much to ever want that much work. But anyway, he's a great guy, and so I just said, come share a little bit on your heart, and how do we get free stuff on the internet? So this is kind of a short bonus session, okay? That none of this, what he's going to be talking about, is on your CD. I just asked him to come serve us this way. So would you welcome Ryan Nielsen?
Hi, it's great to be with everyone, and it has been great. What I'm going to share a little bit about is not just how to find the free stuff, but how to find youth ministry resources on the internet. And I know there may be a lot of you who are very internet savvy, and so a lot of this, you may be sitting there saying, I could be up there teaching that, and you probably could, and probably do a better job than myself. But some of you feel lost when you get on the internet in terms of finding resources and finding resources for your youth ministry. And so I want to share for a few minutes with you about some tricks of the trade and some things to be aware of. First thing is simply that the internet often has a bad rap. But the fact of the matter is that there is a positive side to the internet as well. There are tons of resources available on the internet, tons of wonderful resources available. The other great thing is it opens up our scope beyond our city, beyond our state, basically to the world. With the internet, we have availability to access places all around the world and get resources from there. It can be a fantastic tool, a very useful tool, and something we should take advantage of. But what I want to share with you today is how to learn a few tricks of the trade to help you navigate your way through the internet, and specifically to find those resources for your youth ministry. So, in case you have been on the moon for the past 3 years, let me introduce you to your best friend on the internet, and that is Google. Google will quickly become your best friend when you're searching for any sort of internet resources. And I want to share with you a number of different ways to find these youth ministry resources. The first, like I said, is Google. It's very important to know what you're looking for. When you go onto Google, you want to know what you're looking for. It can be frustrating for some. If you type in the phrase youth ministry resources, just like that, youth space ministry space resources, and click search, Google will bring up approximately 1.3 million results. So that can be a little overwhelming, and you're sitting there going, great, I have to try and surf through 1.3 million results to find that diamond in the rough that I'm looking for. I actually had in my notes, and it's now been used a couple times thanks to being stolen by, both Jim Burns and Doug Fields. The phrase, though, if you are not aiming at anything, then you're sure to hit it. Now, I said it a little different than you guys did, but that's how I remember it. So, if you're not aiming at anything, you're sure to hit it. You do not want to have to sit there and examine thousands upon thousands upon thousands of pages to find what you want. So, first is be more specific. Instead of just simply typing in youth ministry resources, you might want to type into the search field free games to play in youth ministry. Type that whole phrase, free games to play in youth ministry. This at least drops you down to 200,000 results, which still feels overwhelming, but it's still better than 1.3 million. So then there's additional tricks of the trade that a lot of people don't realize, and that is as simply as quotation marks. With Google, use quotation marks, and it doesn't have to be around the whole phrase. You might want to use it around the whole phrase or use it around parts of phrases. You don't want to put it around a single word or it looks at it like just a single word. But for example, take what I had just said. If you're looking for free games to play in youth ministry, try this. Put the phrase youth ministry games inside quotes. Then put the word free after it and the word play. And all of a sudden, you're dropped down to 260 results. So you've now gone from 1.3 million all the way down to 200,000, and just simply by using quotes, you've dropped yourself down to 200. So utilize quotation marks in Google. They will be very helpful in helping you narrow things down. Another thing just to be aware of is I highly recommend you don't worry about going past the first 5 to 7 pages of results. The fact of the matter is, once you start getting past about the first 5 to 7 pages, it's now searching inside hidden text that you're going to have to dig so deep to find that you're rarely going to find what you're truly looking for. If you get through 5 pages and you haven't found exactly what you're looking for, try a different phrase. Think of however creatively you can how that phrase might be worded. Again, use your quotation marks around phrases, especially if you want that specific phrase. If you want to find free youth ministry resources, put quotes around that entire phrase, and you'll find the results are narrowed down to about 90. And so you can find that it gets down because it will only find that if that exact phrase is found in the web page. So the last thing on Google and this way of finding resources is don't always judge a book by its cover. I didn't have that one up there on the outline there. But don't judge a book by its cover. You might come to a web page that doesn't look all that organized or doesn't look all that neat. Give it a page or two. But at the same time, don't spend a lot of time searching for something that's deep inside the web page. If you can't find it fairly quickly on the web page, move on, go to somewhere else, because chances are you'll find it. The second way I recommend trying to find resources is visit speakers' websites. Go to the websites of the speakers that you listen to that you trust. Don't just go to any speaker, but if you hear a speaker that you connect with and you feel, I really value what they say, I trust, what they're presenting, I trust what they would recommend, start out by going to their websites. For example, if you're looking for curriculum and training material, go to simplyyouthministry.com, Doug Field's website. If you're looking for youth culture resources, go to Walt Mueller's, cpyu.org. If you're looking for information and help on parents and families, you want to go to Jim Burns, homeward.com. If you're looking for free games and activities, go to mine, pastortoyouth.com. And others you hear. As you hear people, take note of their website and go there. The second thing with their websites, the speakers' websites that you trust and you know, check out their links. Visit links from those pages of people you trust. Couple things to remember here, though. They do not always endorse the all of the content that's on those pages. There is something they endorse, and that's why they're putting up a link, but it may not be their exact endorsement. So don't hold against them something that you find on another web page that you feel is not in line with theirs or in line with what you believe. I also recommend this. Only visit links that have descriptions with them. If you find links that just list what the web page is, unless it's very clear from the title, like youthpastor.com, I wouldn't waste your time going there. Because if it's a valuable link and a valuable resource, you're going to find that in other places with full descriptions. And you don't want to just be fishing going, this sounds like it might be something I'm interested in, because your time is valuable and your time is precious. And the whole purpose of this and what I'm trying to share here is to help you to shorten the amount of time that you're spending just surfing on the internet to find those jewels. The next place that I recommend going if you're looking for resources are discussion forums. There are a few of these and a couple things to be aware about discussion forums. Sometimes discussion forums can become nothing but a huge debate forum. If you're looking for resources, that's not the place to go. And it's not the place to get engaged in a whole debate on, are these good resources or not good resources? I'm not saying don't read them, but, everyone has their different opinion of what is valuable and what is helpful and what's not. But on discussion forums, you can put the question, hey, I'm looking for PowerPoint games. Do you guys recommend any sites that I can get PowerPoint games? And just wait and look and watch the responses. Some of the discussion forums I recommend, youthspecialties.com has a great discussion forum. It's huge. And so again, you could spend hundreds of hours on there just reading lots of great stuff. And so, again, limit your time, but Youth Specialties is one. PastorYouth.com, I have a discussion forum on mine as well. Simply Junior High has a new discussion forum, and I highly recommend that. That's Kurt Johnston's new website, and they're tied in with Simply Youth Ministry. If you don't know, Kurt Johnston is the junior high youth pastor at Saddleback. And then what I encourage, ask and share. As you find resources, make sure that you're willing to share them with others. One thing you'll find on discussion forums is people will quickly get frustrated if they feel like you're always asking, but you're never sharing what you've learned as well, or sharing helpful resources that you've encountered. Another gem that I encourage you to look at for finding resources are weblogs, often known as blogs. So if you ever hear that phrase blog, it just simply means a weblog. And all that is pretty much an online diary. It's like taking this journal that Doug Fields has given all of us and taking everything you write in there and then putting it on the computer and publishing it on a website for everyone to read. That's pretty much what it is. But what you will find on many of these blogs, you will find all kinds of hidden gems. You will find links to articles. You will find links to resources. You'll find links to specific games. Sometimes if you're looking for creative, funny videos for use in your youth ministry, some of the Christian blogs can be great places to find links to those videos. A lot of times you'll find those hidden gems. One of the warnings about looking on blogs is they can take a lot of time and you can have to fish through a lot of material. And so don't spend a lot of time there. Kind of scroll through both the text of the blog as well as the links on the side and see if you find what you're looking for and go from there, but don't take a whole lot of time. You can get very bogged down from spending too much time there. One of my other high recommendations that when I encounter people, they forget to do this, and I talk to so many people who just basically slap themselves in the face for not doing this, and that is bookmark, bookmark, bookmark. You may be doing a search engine, and you may be looking for a PowerPoint game. And as you're looking for that, you come upon a website that has some really fun, creative youth ministry games that would work for like your Wednesday night program or your midweek program or your Sunday evening program. But that's not what you want right now. And so a lot of times people will just move on. They'll close that page. They'll move on somewhere else. You may not need that page right now, But next month, you may be saying, oh man, it's, Sunday at 4 o'clock, and the teens are about to arrive, and they're going to be here at 5, and I need 3 creative, wild games, and I have no idea what to do. And so I need a game. Oh, I remember there was that page somewhere. How did I find it? Let's see, it was a month ago. And you're lost. And then you waste a whole lot of time researching for these youth ministry games that you don't even remember what was the search I was trying to do when I found it, because it wasn't where I thought it would be. And then all of a sudden the kids are arriving and you're playing that same old game of tag that you've been playing all along. And then you try to vary it up by, okay, today it's toilet bowl tag. Wait, okay, it's freeze tag. Now it's tunnel tag. And your kids are saying, okay, we've played enough tag games. Can we play something else? So bookmark your sites. Bookmark sites. If you don't think you're going to use it again, then go past it. But if there's any remote chance that you're going to use it, bookmark it. Because it's as easy as going to your bookmark page and hitting delete if you don't ever want it again. But you may find yourself saying, I wanted that, I needed that. Boy, I wish I would have bookmarked it. The other thing that I just want to share are a few of the youth ministry resources that I highly recommend that you check out. Some recommended sites just to start from. And I actually forgot a couple from the PowerPoint, so I'll just tell you verbally. But a couple recommended sites to start from. Of course, simplyyouthministry.com. I highly recommend this. Both not only for the resources they provide, but the links that they link to, the freebies they make available. There are so many things you can get from Simply Youth Ministry, as well as Simply Junior High. Simply Junior High, for those of you that are working in junior high ministry, and I love the new Simply Junior High website. Because I work full-time as a junior high youth pastor, I love that there's now a site from Saddleback, from Simply Youth Ministry, that's focused, and from Kurt Johnston, really, that's focused on junior high. And so I love that. PastorYouth.com. If you're looking for freebies, like Doug said, we are just about to officially launch the partnership, but it's already a done deal. We're in this partnership. You can get tons of freebies. Everything on the site is free. There's over 750 games for your Wednesday night program. You can get free lessons. You can get free PowerPoints. These are some great things, let me say, and part of the reason we're partnering is some of the resources you can get from PastorYouth.com are great things to add to the things you'll get from like SimplyYouthMinistry.com. They will be great things to enhance your program, to add one more thing. Some of the games for Wednesday night, if you're stuck for what to do, grab them from there. Use Specialties is another great site. Use Specialties can be a little overwhelming because there is so much on there, but there's so much on there because it's just a gold mine of all kinds of wealth. Homeward.com is another one. Again, for your parents and family resources, for help with, they have great parent newsletter you can subscribe to as well. There's great resources on there for that. The source for youthministry.com, or the source FYM, or the source for ym.com. It's actually all of those will get you there. Jonathan McKee's website, he also offers tons of free resources. He has all kinds of games and icebreakers and leadership material and things of that sort that are all free. cpyu.org. This is Walt Mueller's youth culture material. Anything youth culture-wise you can get from there. A couple things, well, before I go to a couple of the pay ones, one that I forgot on there, youthpastor.com. Very simple, youthpastor. So it's just all one word, youthpastor.com. Again, all kinds of free resources available. Again, games, lessons, links, access to a community of networks so you can connect with other youth pastors is fantastic. And then a couple places where you can pay for some things, pay for access, but are recommended if you're really looking for this type of thing. First is teamce.com, and they have, you can actually get full curriculum and everything from them. Another one is just moved from a freebie site to a pay site. It's vcfk.com. Do we have that? Yeah. YRN, and that stands for Youth Resource Network. And this is a website put out by a youth pastor named Paul Dabdoob. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. If not, I apologize, Paul, if you ever see this. But Paul has on there just some funny pictures. He has PowerPoint games, and he has lessons that he's created. Now, he moved from all of it being free to now he charges $10 for lifetime membership. And so you can get that. I'm sure there are many more that you guys could recommend. I'm sure there's many that I've missed on this list. So do not walk away feeling like this is the comprehensive list of youth ministry resources out there, but just some things to get you started, some places to begin to look. And again, go from links, go from places you know, check out discussion forums, and utilize Google because it can become extremely helpful when you're looking for things. And so that's what I have to share on that.